Hi everyone, my name is Giovanna Proença, and today we're going to talk about some problems that we saw in our Discord community and also other problems you might have here if you want in our live. So, if you want to join our live, you can check the description below. Here, you can join and you can ask your questions to me, and I will be answering you directly with whatever you might have. It can be any problem about programming, CS50, CS50 Python, CS50 Web, Free Code Camp, the Odin project, whatever you want. And one thing that is important to notice is that these lives, they happen for, especially for our students from Discord. And this is pretty good, this membership that we have, because in this community, you can have help from a community of learners from around the world. So basically, this is our Discord community, as you can see in here. And we have a lot of people in here, and you can ask whatever you want, regardless of the level you are. And me and others from Doors Coding School and also other members here, they will be glad to help you. And it's pretty good because you can connect with other people, you can help each other. It's pretty nice. So I highly recommend you joining. And the best thing, it's free. So you can join in here. You're going to have some extra content about programming. We normally give some ideas of what you should do. We normally guide you through which courses you should take. So it's pretty good. We highly recommend you taking. Besides that, oops, I got here a pop-up. You have the Discord support. You also have this group coaching here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And you have more than 500 coding problems with solutions. So this way you can practice more, and it's pretty good because you can only learn how to code when you practice, right? So here we normally have some extra content about every little concept in programming, especially the foundations of programming. So if you're stuck in loops, if conditionals, functions, variables, whatever you think about, we have some problems for you to solve and practice. Okay, so if you want to join our Discord community, the link's in the description, and you're more than welcome to join us. All right, so let's start from the beginning. So basically, I brought some questions from our members, and this is the first problem. So here we're working with C language, and in this problem, this is the half problem of CS50 practice problems week 1, and we have the solution in our YouTube channel. You can go there and check more about it. But sometimes when we're doing the code by ourselves, it's kind of hard to know if you're doing correctly or not in your own way, right? So here, this is the code of one of our students, and we were taking a look in here, and basically the student has the prototype of the function. So remember, every time we're working with C, we have to put here the prototype of the function we're creating, and then we have our main function. This is where everything happens. And in here, we're just printing out the result of the function half. So in our half function, we're receiving a float that will be stored in a variable bill. We're gonna have a text that is another float, and tip that will be an integer. And here the user was trying to solve the problem. Here it's pretty similar to mine, but the problem, the biggest problem here, it's because the user is overwriting the value. So our suggestion here, if we try to run this code, so if I do make problem 1, for example, and I run here problem 1, the value that it's giving to us is 14.072 and 500. All right, so this is not the correct value. We're expecting to have a different one. And the reason why it's because in here, we should be multiplying the tip by the total amount of bill plus tax. So this is the first thing we're going to change. So instead of overriding values, I'm going to create a variable here called float amount. And then in here, I'm gonna create a variable called float bill and tax, because we need to sum the tax and the bill before we calculate the tip. So here I'm gonna do the tax amount plus the bill. Then I'm gonna create here another variable. I'm not gonna overwrite in here. That will be the tax, the tip amount. and it will be the bill amount, bill tax, times the float of the tip. And finally, we're gonna sum all of them. So here I'm gonna do a bill tax, and here it will be the tip amount. So let's see if it's working. If I save in here and I run, so if I do make problem 1 and I run it again, now we are receiving the correct value. Here in the decimal place, it's a little bit different because now we're calculating the correct way, okay? So now let's go to the next problem that I brought from our Discord community. And basically here, this is the Coke machine problem of CS50 Python week 2, where you have to work with loops. So basically here, you are expecting to receive the coins of 25 cents, 10 cents, or 5 cents. And with these coins, we're gonna check if the user is giving us the correct value to buy a Coke in our machine, okay? So in here, if we run our code, let me run it again. If I do python problem2.py, we receive here amount due. If I put 25 cents, it's telling us that we need to give more 25. If I put 10, it's asking us more 15 plus 10. It's asking us for more 5. But what if I have 10 cents? It's giving us what is the change owed. So it's working good. But the problem here is that it's accepting us to send a 30 cents, but we don't have 30 cents, right? So we have to manipulate this file here to accept only these 3 types of coin. So here you have to work in here to manipulate this thing, okay? This is my biggest suggestion. So for example, here we're receiving this input. I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna check if we are receiving the correct info. So here I'm gonna do an if statement, checking if the inserting is inside of is not inside of our list of coins accepted. So here if insert not in 25 or 10 or 5, we're gonna break and we're gonna loop again. So I'm gonna say break. Continue, I believe. Let me double check. So if I run it in here again and I put 30 cents, it's asking us again for some reason. Actually, I'm gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna remove this continue from here and I'm just gonna ask in. Otherwise, we're gonna pass. So here I'm gonna say pass and we're gonna loop over again. Let's see if now it's working. So here if I put 30 cents, it's continue. Oh, because I'm not saving the file. That's the reason why. So let me run it again. If I put 30, it's continue doing this. Let me double check what's going on. If I say not in, let's see what happens. Clear. If I put 30, it's still asking us for more. For some reason, this is not changing, but we should break in a way that it fixes this. So let me see if we're able to fix in a better way. If I remove this in here, let me double check one thing because I'm having a little mistake in here. I'm gonna check this. And let's see if it's working. This continue should be in the same indentation. If I put 30, it is still accepting this amount of money here. I have to take a little bit, look a little bit better on it, but this is the main problem. Here we're kind of accepting here coins that we shouldn't. So we should play around more with this part of accepting or not. Okay, and this might fix our issue. All right, so let me see another thing. Okay, I'm gonna do an if statement in here because we are accepting in here. Actually, I have a better idea. The main problem is in our line 4. We should ask this inside of our loop. and then we're able to check something. So let me see one thing. This will be our main if statement. Okay, great. And we have to check since the beginning if we are receiving the correct coin. So this will be our main goal here, to check if we are receiving the correct coin. So let me see, if I put 30, now it's not accepting anymore, it's giving us an issue, so it should be insert coin. Great, now I think it will work. If I put 30, it will ask us again, that's good. All right, else we're gonna pass and we're gonna run it again. And it's already asking us again, right? If I put here 25, it's accepting. Great, so now it's accepting all the way it should. But the code here is a little bit mixed, so you should work a little bit more with that. But this is the main problem, okay? Now let's go to the next one. So problem 3. Here the question was that the user was getting the following error. Cannot access local variable input where it's not associated with a value. So basically here in our main function, we have this variable input and the user is trying to loop through this input variable in our shorten function. But here we don't have an input variable in the shorten function. Actually, we're sending here, we're receiving as the variable word. That's why we're giving this error. We're receiving this error. Here we should use the word, and then it will work. So here if I do problem3.py, I didn't save for some reason. And we shouldn't use this variable here as well. We cannot use the same variable for a function that already exists in Python. So here you should call, for example, word if you want. Oops. Here you should call word. And here as well. So always remember here we had 2 errors. First, don't use words for variables that already exist in Python. For example, input is a function that already exists, so you cannot use this word. And here, always use the name of the variables that exist in your local functions. Okay, so if we run it again, now we will be able to see in here, for example, if I say Twitter, we're going to receive Twitter without the vowels. Okay, this is pretty much what we need for this problem. Now let's go to the next one. And hey guys, if you have any question, please let me know. You can send here on the chat or you can join our live. I'm here to help you. Okay. Now let's go to the next problem that I saw here from our students. So the problem was the following. I guess I'm thinking of main function should be a place where we call functions in our program, but I'm not sure if this is always what main is supposed to do in a Python program. So basically, every time we want to run our code, we need to start writing things in our main function, otherwise it won't run. Okay, we need to call it in our main function. So for example, if I just comment out here and I just print hi, it won't run the lines where we have the get number and meow because we need to call them in our main function. Okay, so here I'm just displaying hi. But not necessarily we need to call always in the main function. We can call in other functions. So let's see what's going on in here. If I run our file, it's asking for n. I'm going to put the number 2, and it's printing meow twice because we're sending this variable number to our meow. Okay, but not necessarily we need to do everything in the same function. We can call the function get number inside of our meow, for example. So let me grab this part of the code in here and we're gonna manipulate a little bit. Let's suppose our number doesn't need a argument anymore. And in here, I'm gonna call the function get number. And you can do this as well. You can call one function inside of the other, there's no problem. And it will work the same way. It will display meow meow and display hi as well. Okay, so basically we need the main function to start our code. Otherwise, anything that we have written outside of that will be read. But you can call one function inside of the other. So for example, here we have the get number function being called inside of our meow, and that's okay. All right. And now for our final problem here. Again, we're working with the Coke machine problem of CS50 Python, as I mentioned. And basically in here, the thing is the following. Let's see what's going on. If I start here the problem5.py and I put 30 coins, it's not accepting. If I put 25, it's accepting, 10 is accepting, 10. And if I pass in here, it tells us that the change is 5, but it's still asking us for coin, even if we paid all the total amount of a Coke in here. So we have to break out of our loop. And why is that? Because here, when we have this change old, we're not returning to stop our code. So if we're returning here, we will be able to fix this. So let's see, if I run it again, I put 25, 10, 10, and 10. It will tell us the change old and it will stop our code. Okay, this is pretty much what we need to do for this problem. So that's it. That was the problem that I had, that I brought here. And I can see that we have someone here in our chat. So please, can you send here on the, are you ready to enter in our live? If you want, you can ask here. I think he had a problem. Well, that's fine. So this is pretty much what I had for today. Okay. If you have any question, please let us know. You can join again our free Discord community where you will have your questions and you have access to a community of learners from all around the world. And you also have this group coachings and more problems to solve. So it's pretty good if you're learning how to code by yourself. It's pretty good to have someone to help you, right? Well, that's it. I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions again, just let us know. Just let us know. Okay, bye bye. Take care.